Good morning, glories, and welcome to Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig. I am Dan, and I'm perfectly awake.
I am Craig, and I'm perfectly asleep.
And here's a couple of scoops.
You're watching Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig, your sunrise reminder that things could get worse, so laugh at them while you still can.
Oh, hey, hello, Craig. Good morning. How are you doing, Craig? Craig, did you sleep good?
Hey, you're cutting out. Hang on.
Oh, off to a good start.
Sleep good. And I was sleeping good when you texted, hey.
So it worked,
And I
is
was
what you're
like,
saying.
shit. Yes. Yeah, I woke up my kids this morning and at like 6:30, and I was like, it's Tuesday. I don't have anything going on Tuesday mornings or anything, so I'm going to lay back down and fall back asleep for a few minutes. And then you're like, hey, and I was like, shit, it's Tuesday morning, and I do have things going on Tuesday morning, so
It's almost
I'm here,
impressive
though.
how many times we can do this and still be surprised when it happens. Because it's happened to me quite a few times at this point, and not that long ago. So it's all good. But we got to talk about some scoops, and we're short on time for some reason. I don't know why. Craig, have you ever heard of Fort Bragg?
I have heard of Fort Bragg. I've never been to Fort Bragg, but I've heard of this place, mystical place. Why? What's going on in Fort Bragg? I have no idea.
Tell me what you know about Fort Bragg first, because you know more about military than I do.
There's isn't there like a military prison there?
Sure.
Isn't that the military prison? Yeah, and it's an army base, and that's all I know. Those two things.
Right. So you haven't seen
And
any of their. Oh, go ahead.
was there a shooting there, or was that Fort Hood? That was Fort Hood.
That was Fort Hood, I believe.
Yes.
No, there was something even more grotesque that happened at Fort Bragg this week that needs to be discussed. And I'm not sure the best way to set this up. But just know, according to dailynews.com, that a hack was not responsible for lewd tweets from Fort Bragg account, Army says.
So Fort Bragg was responsible for the Fort Bragg tweets then?
Yes.
Oh, so Fort Bragg is just out tweeting lewd tweets.
Yes.
Oh, what are these lewd tweets that we're referring to?
Well, we're going to read a little bit of this article, and maybe you'll find out, or maybe it'll be too spicy to be in this article, but this will set the stage. The official Twitter account of Fort Bragg, a U.S. Army installation in North Carolina, made quite a stir on Wednesday after making several lewd tweets, leading the Army to claim the account was hacked before backtracking, as government does. According to Stars and Stripes, the Fort Bragg account made several ribald comments to a woman from OnlyFans, a subscription-based pornographic website about... Are you talking or am I feeding back?
I'm not talking.
Okay, good. It's just me and me then. About her physical attributes as well as descriptions of sexual acts. The tweet remained up for about a half hour before they were deleted, and the account was quickly disabled and remains so. Fort Bragg social media director... Okay, so this is a tweet from Ashley Feinberg. It says, Fort Bragg social media director solemnly walking towards his computer through a line of soldiers doing a 21-gun salute before firing one last shot at the enter key because Fort Bragg's account is now completely taken down. Yes. Yes, it was that bad, actually. And yes, it was bad enough that they're not going to say what the tweet was in this article, but fear not. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got you covered. After the account... Why is it feeding back? What is happening?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Shannon says, hola.
Craig, you sound like a robot. Come on back when you're ready. Hi, Sharon. She's listening, but driving. You probably shouldn't listen and drive. You should probably pull over for this one. It's going to be a doozy. Earlier this afternoon, the Fort Bragg Twitter account was hacked and a string of inappropriate tweets were posted to the account. The something amount, a bunch of letter numbers, Airborne Corps said when made aware the Fort Bragg social media. Oh, there he is. I was wondering if you were going to bother coming back, if you're like, well, you had your chance.
I almost didn't. I was like, well, he said come back if I feel like it, and I don't know if I feel like it.
All right. Yeah, share your screen again. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you didn't miss much. Let's see. They just talked about it's under investigation. On Thursday morning, the army said a civilian administrator with official access to the account had come forward to claim responsibility. A civilian administrator. So I'm guessing it's somebody that they hired to do their social media. Is that what that means?
Well, they have like non-military like people that work on base and for like contract work and stuff like that, or like office administration and stuff. So yeah, they probably have a hired social media person that they didn't want to put like a trained like military person. Well,
because it would have been grosser if it was if it was a military person.
By trained military person, like probably much dumber. No, not necessarily, I guess, considering what's
Right.
going on. But yeah, probably a lot less censored because the nature of military talk gets so much worse than the civilian world some days.
Yeah.
But I really want to hear what this is, and you're really really making me wait.
Yes. Patience makes it better when it happens. Hector Ruse says, "Good morning, nuts and assholes." Good morning.
Good morning.
Which is which?
Speaking of nuts and assholes.
Oh, by the way, this is that's the end of the article. That's it. That's all they had to say in this article.
A civilian was responsible, and
Yep.
the end. We're not going to say anything else, huh?
Yep.
Interesting.
But God bless the Libertarian Party of Delaware for screenshotting, sharing, and making this article known to me, because they captured. Which actually, before we jump over, I just want to say, if you have children in the room, you're a bad parent. All right, so
why do you have children in the room, right?
Sharon probably has kids in the car while she's drinking her morning glass of wine on her way to school. Anyway,
morning
so
box of wine. She's got a wine juice box. She's carries work with her.
So I gave you plenty of time to back out, and so the original tweet is from Quinn Finite, and it says "Your boner's POV," and it has a picture of her looking down, making a face. And okay, she's an OnlyFans girl, whatever, pretty normal, stupid stuff there. But what wasn't expected was Fort Bragg to say, "My faces, then my boners, then my faces again, before I come up and give you a deep, long kiss."
So who posted this? The OnlyFans person? And Fort Bragg commented on it?
The OnlyFans person posted this, and he Fort Bragg, an entire military base, responded with this.
My face's point of view, then my boner's point of view, and then my face's point of view again before I give you a deep, long kiss. Now, okay.
Do you remember all the sympathetic letters from war that we used to hear about? "Dearest Martha, it has been a long and arduous journey to this point." Now we just get tweets on OnlyFans accounts about your penis.
I mean, I've seen some gross people following grosser people and commenting on gross things, but why would you do this from the Fort Bragg official account?
Well,
do you think he forgot to switch over his account?
That's absolutely 100% what happened. There's no way he intended to do this. Yeah, it's obviously he was still logged in, but how do you apparently there was a couple comments too. Like, this isn't the only one. I think this was the most graphic one, but this wasn't the only one. And how many tweets? Why am I not on this? There we go. How many tweets before you realize that your name is Fort Bragg, your tag is Fort Bragg, people who are responding are adding Fort Bragg, the picture, nothing gave it away. Like, are you just that blindly horny that you can't even see where you are? If so, I mean, this guy clearly has. I would say he has issues, but he seems like he's a gentle lover, at least for a military person, and that's how you know it's actually not a military person because it
Yeah,
didn't say rape anywhere.
Wow, that's harsh. Um, I mean that
And there were no kids involved.
that wasn't that bad for just a human personal account. I mean, some men are gross out there and aren't afraid to admit it. But
Clearly.
so did their account get suspended or did they suspend their account?
I think they immediately wiped everything. They're like,
Wow.
nope, I guess we're
Take
done
it all
here. Wrap it up.
Apparently, we cannot social media. We tried, we failed. The end.
Maybe, just maybe, military bases don't even need Twitter accounts. I mean, what are you promoting? Hey guys, we're still here.
Oh.
We're Fort Bragg. Just here to brag about it.
There's some army bases that are known for much worse than this incident here. So they actually got a lot more going for them because I can't remember if it's Fort Hood or I can't remember. There's one that's known for like women just like disappearing and like their bodies being discovered, and it turns out that it was like a group of barracks guys that just like took this chick and like gang raped her and like buried her out in a field somewhere, and
Nice.
the base covering it up for like months before it finally comes to light. And so I mean, if your base is known for talking about your military base boner to an OnlyFans girl, then you got a leg up on some of these bases.
Yeah.
Those are army, not the Marines bases, the army bases.
Yeah, you're breaking up again. We're gonna get through this. We're going to get through this. Just to wrap that one up. All right, sorry, I have to kick you out again. Come back. So just what was I saying? Where am I? Oh, he was talking about the women disappearing off the military bases and stuff like that, and their bodies being found. No, I mean, not anything worth normally reporting on. Craig, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so to wrap that one up, in conclusion, if you see this woman, please report it to the authorities immediately because she might be missing from a military base. Can't confirm, but very possible.
Fair enough.
Greg, what do you got?
Speaking of
You got to share it again.
oh yeah. Speaking of boners, I guess, or lack thereof boners, maybe, I don't know. Harvey Weinstein's back in the news, and it's
Tim Brown says, "Miss you, Crepe." Also, Craig, you need to share your screen.
I am.
Oh, well, there we go.
Harvey Weinstein is back in the news again for his genitalia this time. Not for his actions, but mostly for his deformed genitalia. Because, when you go to trial over sexual assault, you have to be able to define and describe the accused genitalia.
Right.
Can you imagine? Like how embarrassing already is it that you're there for the actions that you may or may not have committed? Most likely, probably did commit.
Show us your balls.
But you have to sit there and listen to each one of your accusers describe your deformed genitalia.
And they bring out like a big cardboard like image of it. Like, are these the balls that you saw? Can you confirm that? I don't know. That one's a little bit lower than I remember, and that one's a little bit more deformed than I recall.
It's much more deformed than you want to think here.
Did they describe it in this article?
Oh yes.
Oh, nice.
Like your article did little to describe. This
Right.
article does much to describe.
They're way better journalists than
Yes.
New York Daily News.
Well, this is the New York Post, so they are like borderline tabloid / news
Perfect.
/ I don't even know. But this says Harvey Weinstein's alleged deformed genitalia will be laid bare and discussed in detail during his trial over alleged sex crimes, prosecutors revealed on Monday. I don't think they're literally laying them bare. I think they're just like describing them.
Do they just make him take them out in court?
Hey, can you whip those out real quick?
Does that look right? I don't know. Let me get a closer look.
So you got to hear how deformed these are.
Oh, dear
The
God.
disgraced Hollywood mogul's accusers will take to the stand and describe unique things about his body. I feel like this is just getting to borderline, like inhumane right now. Like,
It's just like a shaming ritual. Like,
yes,
well, this is part of your punishment. Sorry. Let's talk
it's
about your
like
weird
back.
balls.
It's like back in the day when like women who like cheated on their husbands had to like walk naked through the streets while people
Right.
pelted them with like vegetables and stuff.
And
This
to
is his
clarify,
one.
inhumane, odd form of torture. I'm perfectly fine with those things if it's on Harvey Weinstein. So continue.
Exactly. It says, as they recall how he allegedly sexually assaulted each of them. What I'm referring to is a result of a surgery that the defendant had in 1999. Thompson told the jury as a 70-year-old Weinstein shook his head. Because of an infection, his testicles were actually taken from his scrotum and put into his inner thighs. Why?
This sounds. Are you sure this is real? Because this sounds so made up at this point.
This is what the prosecutor says. This is not what New York Post is saying. This is the prosecutor
Wow.
is saying that his balls were surgically removed.
Wow. When you said
and
like
put to his inner
grotesquely
thigh.
deformed or whatever, this was way past what I was expecting.
So does he still have a sack, just like an empty sack, and his balls are just like
It's just a fat legs, two lumps that clack together in the middle, and just this dangling like rooster flap of skin flying in the wind.
oh, imagine if you like, I don't know, like squeeze your legs too hard together and like pinch your balls in your legs.
I mean, I already have that problem, and I don't
That's
even
true.
need them to be grafted to my thighs.
Says none of the I can't. I'm crying. None of the Jane Does will describe his anatomy perfectly, but most of them will be able to
Thank
describe
God.
his abnormalities. It's
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
there are some things that you just don't forget.
yes, how do you forget that? Look, if you're gonna rape somebody, don't have like very clearly deformed balls that you can be like picked out of a lineup,
Don't have like a smiley face tattooed on your penis or anything.
or that too.
they'll
I mean,
pick out pretty clearly.
yeah, don't do that either, and text it to like minors.
Yeah.
He added the surgery caused pretty noticeable scarring, which will be visible in photos shown in court at the as the trial unfolds.
I love this.
Jack Skellington says, "Ha ha ha! Imagine getting swamp ass when your nuts are in your thighs. That thigh rub would be excruciating."
It's true. It's true.
All right, we got to get down to it. So I
Starting
feel
ball
like
fires.
the reason why I feel like some of this is made up is because this gets more into like it gets more into like the details of the events from the accusers. But it says Thompson also played a video slideshow which flashed up photos of his accusers with quotes from the prior testimonies that were read out to the jury, including "I'm shaking" and kind of being dragged into the. Okay, all right, we don't need all the rape details,
But his penis. Oh, you
but the
stopped.
point that we do need
Go back.
is
I want to
that-
read it. I want to read it sensually.
Okay, go ahead. Read it sensually.
And he put his penis in me, but he wasn't erect. Thank you.
I mean, can you get erect when your balls are in your
Smash it
leg?
in there. Just smash it in.
Yeah, just mush it right in.
You like it.
Oh God, yeah. I don't want to get into the grossness of this, but except the one gross part, because it seems like the stories are getting a little mixed up here. Because where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it? There's one that's very important to mention.
Don't know. You told me not to read the article in advance.
Hang on, I gotta search for it. Jane Doe 1 sobbed as she recounted how Weinstein forced his way into her room around 12 a.m. and allegedly demanded she sucked his balls. So
Oh.
while he masturbated. So is she sucking his balls on his
Oh.
thighs?
It's just a hickey
Like,
at some point.
is she down there just like knobbing on his inner thigh? Like,
Oh.
or is she sucking on his rooster mate? Like, I don't
Yeah, you're
know.
like, I don't want to get into the graphic details or anything, but
Except
just one more quick graphic detail.
yes.
y- So it's not like he's proud of it. He's into it. He's not
Yeah.
ashamed.
No. He's like, you see that down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck on
Yeah.
my big toe. That's my testicle.
See that knob on my knee right there? That's my balls.
You see this hole in my thigh? That's my rectum.
Ew. God.
I mean, at some point, who knows what this Picasso nutted motherfucker's doing.
Shannon says we don't need visuals.
Well, I don't know what you were expecting. I don't know. With these two stories, they go so well together that you should have
Yes.
probably backed out a while ago.
Jane Doe 1 says it was miserable. I was trying to get away and he grabbed my hair. He pulled me to his private part and
Oh.
forced me to do what he asked. I was crying and choking. I'm
Choking
sorry.
on what? I mean, they must be big.
I mean, I don't know. At what point, like, what led the doctor to place these things into his legs? At what point? I mean, he's 70 something now. That was back in 99, so he was like 50 something. I guess maybe he wants to keep him around, but is it really worth keeping him around in your inner thighs, or do you just get them surgically removed and get the nudicles, like the
I feel like
prosthetic
you could make a fake scrotum easier than you could tie
or
him to
put
your
it in
thighs.
his leg? Yes.
Like, I don't know. And as he gets older, do they still sag down? Do they creep down to his knees?
They just start rolling down his leg.
I don't
Back
know. This is not something I've ever heard of, and there is a part of me that wonders if this entire story is complete bullshit. But I hope it's not, because the plot thickens. But Harvey Weinstein's penis does not.
Jack Skellington says, "How do you choke on thighs?"
Mhm.
Oh my god! Like, I thought the Harvey Weinstein was done and over, but no, there's so much more to this story that we have not been alluded to until now.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was still a trial going on at this point. But
Well,
Sharon
he got
says Smuts is trying to make me crash. Yes, it's like when you hear the conspiracy theories about, quote unquote, conspiracy theories about the self-driving car that takes control and kills somebody of importance. It's like that, but it's a longer con where we lull you into a sense of security, and then we spring Harvey Weinstein's balls on you at the last minute, and it takes over, and you crash from the mind control of
yes,
that.
you got Weinstein thigh balls on the brain.
That's right. They're hypnotizing. Anyway, I hope this is real. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's got to be. It's the New York Post. It's got to be real.
So you know it's legit. Is that all you
Yes.
got on that?
I mean, I can keep going, but it only would get worse from here.
Oh, well, then let me switch back over.
I'm good. Again,
Okay.
I don't want to read like all the rapey claims and stuff, because that's I'm in a like
It's my YouTube account.
I'm in a sick like laugh at this phase, so it's not going to be in a nice manner if we continue on that path. So I'm just going to stay away from that and just continue to focus on Weinstein's balls, because
Lame.
that's the best part of it.
Lame.
Sorry.
I mean, the rapes are over, and I didn't commit them. So
I mean, that's fair.
you got
I guess.
you got smush raped by a guy with balls tied to his legs.
Here was a good part, I guess. Weinstein's lawyer is just a straight up asshole. Like, it's no surprise that he ended up with Weinstein. He's not one of those guys that's like, I got to take this one on. No, he's just a total asshole too, because
Who?
Weinstein's lawyer,
Oh.
because he at this whole trial, he says Hollywood is an entirely different place, and Hollywood sex was a commodity. That's the way we get things done, or that's the way things were done. He says,
That's the way we get things done would have been a
yeah,
much more incriminating statement.
right, exactly.
That's just how we do it around here, babe.
He then took a dig at Gavin Newsom's wife, saying, "Today she is the wife of Governor Newsom. She's the first partner of California. She's made herself a prominent victim in the Me Too movement. Otherwise, she'd just be another bimbo who slept with Harvey Weinstein to get ahead in Hollywood." He's
Wow.
like, yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Wait.
He doesn't feel bad for the victims at all. He's not like, I know you feel. He's like, no, you're all a bunch of whores. Just admit the fact that you're all a bunch of whores. I mean, does this lawyer find more work after this? I mean, yeah, there's I guess enough like Bill Cosby's and Harvey Weinstein's in Hollywood that he'll still find work, but
Yeah.
this guy's a piece of shit too.
I understand what he's saying. I'm not agreeing with what he's saying or the the thing that goes on, obviously, but he's not wrong. Like it's kind of an open secret, and everybody knows that people sleep their way to the top and get their way to success by doing terrible things. It's not really that much of a surprise, and it's
So,
gross
is
and
this a
wrong.
good case?
What?
I said, is this a good case in this incident? Like Harvey Weinstein's already got the reputation of like Hitler and
Right.
Stalin wrapped in one, and this guy comes out and he's just like, it's just what people do. They just fuck their way to
Right.
the top, and he's the top. So, what what
I
what am
mean,
I going to say about
is it illegal? Is it illegal to say I will give you this job if you have sex with me? I mean, it's kind of prostitution, but the people that are for these women are probably for legal sex work too. And I'm not like I don't think prostitution should be illegal. I don't condone it, but I don't think it should be illegal. But like if like at worst this is prostitution, right? Or coercion into what like you did agree. If he didn't like force you, then it's not rape. It's just you made a bad choice with a scumbag and he gave you a job for it.
I mean, it's a shitty human to like
Yes.
insist on that for a tit for tat moment there. But what it sounds like here, this trial is specifically for him forcing himself, not for the coercion or the
Okay. I don't know much about the Weinstein case. I assume he's a scumbag either way. I mean, even if he was coercioning them, I don't know. Even if he was prostituting them, I would still think he's a scumbag, but I don't know about the accusations entirely. So
yeah. This talks about like him very much forcing them and stuff, but I don't know all the details either, but I care more about his leg balls.
Right. But the point he's making is that it was kind of normal at the time, so chill out a little bit. I kind of like that's really the only case he can make, and he's not wrong because if everybody else was doing it and he's like, yeah, we were doing it too. Like that's really the only case he got at that point. Doesn't make it good, but it's like
the best part
what else
is
he
that
got?
the best part is that he straight up calls Gavin Newsom's wife a whore in a very national
That's
court
true.
case here.
That's
It's
true.
like, yeah, everybody is doing that. You know, Newsom, his wife, yeah, she's a whore. She's a total whore.
I mean, our vice president has an interesting past if you look into how she got her start in politics. But
Oh, no, you can't say that.
I mean, because she was a
She worked
woman
her
of
way to the
color
top.
who worked really hard. That's not unusual. I mean, they do that all the time. Never mind.
Yes.
My analogy is failing here. But Craig, this has been fun. Thanks for bringing Harvey Weinstein's balls to a new, clearer perspective that I never wanted to have. And tell people where they can find you and the stuff.
The stuff can be found all over the interwebs and the podcast platforms at the Break the Bell podcast. You can find me on social media at Break the Bell Pod on all the major platforms, or you can find me on my website at breakthebellpod.com, where there's links to all of my social media and my videos and audios and things. This week, we just decided to take a dive into the great philanthropist work of the elitists and how generous they are and how they just want to take control of everything, one generous dollar at a time.
Yeah. And you can find me at thesystemsdown.tv or at TSIDpod on Twitter or thesystemsdown.tv for all the other links and everything.
You said thesystemsdown.tv, and then you said your handle, and then you said thesystemsdown.tv again. So
I know.
Okay. Just pointing out that you already said that.
Thank you. I did that on
problem.
purpose because they
Oh.
remember it better if I say it more.
Oh.
The
Well, you
system
can
is
find me
down.tv.
breakthebellpod.com.
What did I say too many times, Greg?
Breakthebellpod.com.
Damn it. I tried. And tomorrow we'll be doing the news, allegedly, at 2 p.m. corn time. And I believe the main topic of this week is a Jewish Antichrist. So
Kanye West?
tune in for that. No, actually, it has nothing to do with. No, it's
Bitch,
no, it's a little bit more troubling, a little bit more interesting,
You got to watch this one.
a little bit more cancelable. But be here tomorrow, 2 o'clock for the Jewish Antichrist.
Did you hear how people are scared now in LA because somebody posted a sign that said Kanye was right, and so now people are terrified because somebody said Kanye is right.
That's it. I mean, he's said a couple things over his storied career.
There was one thing about it said something about like Jewish people, and then there was another sign that said, but I mean, I think it said maybe like Jews do rule the world or something like that. But yeah, the headline was like, people are terrified because of a sign that said Kanye was right. And I was like, oh,
that is,
all right. That's a good reason. Yeah, I am deeply troubled. Anyway, that's not what this is about. We got to go.
Yes, we do. And tune in tomorrow for me to be canceled. I'm pretty sure I'm having a Jew on the show to discuss this with me, just as a Jewish safeguard. If not, tune in tomorrow for a completely different article. And this has been 2 Scoops.
This has been 2 Scoops Morning News every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central or whenever we feel like it. Until next time, hang in there, America.